Hello, Loveland family. I'm Kathy with Kindex, and I'm really excited to be able to show you your family archive today and explain some of the tools that we have for you to get you face-to-face with your records, transcribe them, and make them more searchable. So let's get started. When you go to your family archive, which is located at loveland.kindex.org, this is the first page that you will see. You'll see all your records as thumbnails, and over here on the left are your collections in which your records are organized. Now keep in mind that these collections also have sub-collections, so you can see if there's an arrow, you can look and see the sub-collections that we've created. Now these generally fall, not generally, they do fall in alphabetical order. So if you're trying to organize your collection names, sometimes you can add a number preceding the name, and that will help you get your collections in the order that you would like. Also note that if you just want to view records from a certain collection, you can click here and it will show you just those records, which is helpful both for finding what you want and also searching what you want. So if you have this particular collection selected and you go over here and click search, it will only search the records that are within the collection that is highlighted. However, if you deselect and nothing is selected, it will select or search the entire archive. Okay, so if you want to get a closer look at one of the records, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to add information to your records to get them more searchable. So let's go ahead and scroll down here, and we'll open up one of the records in the Mom's Originals folder. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on chicken salad. I noticed that this recipe for buttermilk rolls was already transcribed, and I know that because there's a little purple check mark here. So that tells me that that one has already been done. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this chicken salad document and start transcribing. Now, I've already added a couple of lines, but I'll go ahead and add another 1 cup mayonnaise. And then I'll go through and show you the tools that we have for transcription. We have undo and redo, strike through, which comes in handy. You can even see there's a word here that's been crossed out. So I'm going to skip down to that. Can be cut in. I think that's how she spelled it. So I can go ahead and use the strike through tool to cross out what the original author has also crossed out, which is helpful in making an exact replicate of the transcription itself. We also have some other tools here that will aid in formatting: bold, italic, underline. These two notes are interesting. If there's an inline note, that means it functions like a superscript. If someone has written something in small print above a line, we can type that. For example, it will just reflect what's in the original formatting. Also, if there's a marginal note or side notes or things like that, you can tag them as a marginal note, which will actually function like as a footnote at the bottom of the document. If there's a word that is illegible, let's say we couldn't tell what this crossed out word is, we could always add this little symbol here, and that tells us that the word that we're looking at was unreadable. I'll go ahead and delete that. We also have some formatting tools: indents, bullets, numbers, alignments. A table is also handy when you have data that has to be organized a certain way, so you can insert a table if you like, if that's helpful, and start typing in your information. If you select the table, you'll get some formatting tools for that table, so you can add certain things to help with how you want that organized. I'm going to go ahead and just delete that table. This is an image tool, so if you have an image located in your document, a photograph or a drawing, you can go ahead and add a description for that image here. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. This link tool is relatively new, but if you have a link both within Kindex or an external link you want to embed within this document, you can add that here. So I'll just type out an example. I'm going to put it in brackets so the reader knows it's me talking, not the original author. See also buttermilk rolls. Now beforehand, I've actually copied a link to that index document. So I will highlight the word buttermilk rolls, click the link button, paste the link, and now we have a link that will take us to the rolls, which is a fantastic way to link together documents. So if I wanted to, for this purpose of demonstration, I'll go ahead and hit complete, save, and read this document. You can see I can click on that and it will take me to the separate document. So let's just click back. Now obviously this transcription is not done, but while we're here I will show you the tools that we have in the read page. Edit transcription, we can download the original document. We can even make a PDF from this document that's QR coded, which is helpful if anybody wants to scan this QR code with their phone. They can go ahead and scan it and they will be taken to this original document, which is really helpful. We can also see that Jane was the original contributor and also the indexer for this particular document. Now obviously this transcription is not done, so I'm going to go back to Edit Transcription, change it back to Indexing in Progress, delete my couple of lines here, and hit Save. Now if I just wanted to move on to the next document, to browse or to index, I can just click Next, and it will load the next one, clam chowder, and it will keep loading the next document in each collection until the collection is finished, and then I won't be able to click Next anymore. Let's actually go back to the All Records view. So if I want to see both records that have been indexed and not indexed, I will click on All Records. If I only want to look at indexed or completed records, I will click this tab. And as you can see, they all have this little purple check mark. And someone's done a really good job with their indexing. I can go ahead and open this document and see the indexing work here. And I can just even page through and load the next document. So if I'm reading several photos or journal entries in a row, this is a really nice way of browsing through your archive. Alright, if you need to make the text larger or smaller for readability, you can see these little tools over here. We'll do that. Alright, so we've talked about navigating our archive and we've talked about indexing. Let's talk about search. What's really one of the best features about Kindex is the searching tools. So if I wanted to type in, even though we're only at 4% indexed, I can type in the word daddy. I know I'm sort of cheating because I know that word exists in a couple of record names. So when you're searching, keep in mind that the search will search both the record names, the descriptions, and the transcriptions that have been added. So I'll click daddy and I can see that a couple of records have come up. So to get a closer look, I can open up this record. Now notice it found it because daddy was in the file name, and whomever is transcribing this can go ahead and add a transcription and the name of the person in the photo. It's also helpful to add a lot of description like hat or fur or what they're wearing. It helps the user find the document later. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, so we've talked about search. Let's talk a little bit about adding records. So whoever is a collaborator in this archive has permission to add records. So if you have records that you've scanned at home and are appropriate to put in this archive, you would go ahead and click Add Records. Now you can add records two ways, from your computer and also from Family Search. So let's talk about records from your computer. I'm going to go ahead and just demonstrate how to add one. So let's click Loveland here. I'm just going to add this Loveland picture that I have saved for your video. And you can actually add multiple records if you needed to add 50 at a time or 100 at a time. You just need to make sure that they're all under 15 megabytes each. But for today, I'm just going to add one record. So I'll click Open. Now I'm going to assign a collection for that record to go. Now, since I don't want to put it in anybody's collection, I'm just going to add a collection called Demo. And I don't want the collection to be a sub-collection anywhere. I just want it to be at the top level. So I'm just going to click None there and click Add Record. Continue. Demo record. Example. It's an image. I'm not going to attach the record to any person. And I'll go ahead and hit Update Record. And you can see in that process a new demo collection has been created. It has one record and it has this document in there, or this photo in there. So obviously I'm not going to keep this collection in your archive, so I'll show you how to delete a collection. Now, first of all, to delete a record, I can just click on there on the thumbnail and hit delete. That's one way to do it. I'm just going to X out of this so I can show you the other way. If you delete a collection, all the records within a collection will also be deleted. So you need to take care if you're deleting collections to make sure that you delete the records or move the records that are within that collection. So I'm going to click Delete this collection. Yes. I get a couple of warnings to make sure we've backed up our data and hit Yes. Okay. Alright, so that's a general overview. I'm going to talk about a couple of administrative tools. If you want to keep listening, great, but these are mostly applied to the archive administrator on how to move things around, delete, and manage your archive. Okay, so if you're an administrator, you are the only one that has permission to delete records or delete collections. Collaborators have permission to add and edit, but only you have permission to delete. I showed you how to delete records. If I wanted to delete all the records within a collection, I could just go to that particular collection, click Select All, and hit Delete. Now, of course, I don't want to really delete these, but if you wanted to, you could delete them and click Yes. This is also another great way to update your metadata in batch form. Let's say I wanted to add some keywords or a description that would apply to all of these records. So I would click Record Info, and I could add something that would be applied to every single record. So that's a one-step way of doing that, which is really helpful. If I wanted to change the collection name, I would click this little purple pencil and change the collection name here and click Update. Okay. Now, let's jump over here to your Manage Archive tools. So this gives you an overview of your archive. It would be really great if at some point you went in and added a description of your archive, including the family names and other things that you have within your archive to help people who may be interested in your archive, relatives, etc., to find you and to reach out to you and contact you about your archive. This shows your subscription that you're currently Cloud Archive, which is a public archive. Now, here's your collaborative tool here. So if you wanted to invite someone to access your archive, this is where you would do it. Note that I corrected a few of your invitations that had semicolons and went ahead and re-invited those people today. So hopefully they will be able to access this archive. And then under the tools, we have a couple of ways to download and back up your data. So this first one is the download archive data as a spreadsheet. And this is really helpful to see at a glance how much data has been entered in your archive. And some people like to use that data to import that into a different format, like a web page or a Word document or something like that. So that's really helpful to always have access to the data that has been entered by everyone visiting your archive. The second button here is download all your records as a zip file. So this is another way to to access all of your records, download them all as a zip file, so you do have a backup of everything that's been added. Let's go ahead and click out of there. One thing I neglected to talk about earlier is these tools here at the top. So we talked about adding records, but we didn't talk about sharing from Family Search. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how that's done. So let's say, for example, I wanted to pull in some records of Harold King, which is one of your ancestors. And I wanted to go through Family Search and pull all those records in. So I could click Share Memories from Family Search. Now I've already gone over here and I'm going to copy Harold's Family Search ID, so I have that. And I will paste that here and click Search. Now I'm already logged into Family Search, so I didn't have to log in, but if you're not, it will prompt a login. So we have found Harold King Loveland. We're going to add his memories to Kindex. So it's now importing Harold's memories. You can see under Family Search Memories, it created a new folder, and these are the memories. So I'm going to go ahead and just select those. I don't want them there, I want them in Harold King's folder. So I'm going to go and select those, click Record Info, move to Harold King, there, and hit Update. Sometimes you have to refresh the page. And you can see those records are now in Harold King's folder. I'm going to go ahead and just delete this folder now, because we're not using it anymore. But you could use this process to go through and import records from a number of people within Family Search. You just have to do that one Family Search ID at a time. Okay, so the other tools here are Show All Record Types. You can filter this based on, if I just wanted to see images, it'll filter those. If I just want to see documents, I can go ahead and filter and just see documents. Now what's interesting is I can see there are photos here, so I'm going to show you how to correct that. If you see something that has been misattributed, it should be an image, but it's listed as a document. So you can go ahead and just actually click here, click all of these. This is the fastest way to do it. Click Record Info, click Image, or sorry, yeah, click Image, and hit Update. And now those records are now classed as images. Alright, so I think that's pretty much everything. I hope I've answered all your questions. If I haven't, please email me or give me a call and I'd be happy to go through some additional stuff with you. I hope this family archive is helpful for you to unite your family and getting them face to face with all of your history. You have some wonderful pictures and I'm so happy that we've been able to help you with this process. So best of luck to you, and hopefully we will talk to you soon. Thank you.